Hey there, welcome to your Tableau journey. Whether you're completely new to data or just curious about visualization, you're in the right place. In this quick walkthrough, I'll show you the Tableau interface and introduce you to a few basic tools to help you feel confident before diving deeper into the Tableau course. All right, I've opened the Tableau desktop application, and this is the first window you will see. But before then, I want to introduce you to Tableau itself. Tableau is a powerful data visualization tool that helps you see and understand your data. With just a few clicks, you can turn rows of data into clear interactive visuals that tell a story. All right, so back to the screen. So let's take a look around. So when you first open Tableau, you will see the stats page, and this is what it looks like. This is where you can connect your data source, whether it's an Excel file or a CSV or even a database. So this is Excel. We have the text file, JSON, PDF, spatial file. When you come to more, you will see more formatting. And there you can able to select whatever file you want selected. You can also come to a server. So every section has a title. So a server connects you to databases residing on a server. It could be an Oracle server, it could be Amazon, it could be Redshift, Google BigQuery using the JDBC driver, Google BigQuery, and more. So you can see a host of orders in there, several server databases, SAP, and other ones. When you go through each of them, you'll be able to see more names, and you can also sort alphabetically or based on recently added. Then you have save data sources, which is comes handy with Tableau desktop. So we have the sample yield superstore, the popular one. This is EU version because of the currency, and we have the sample superstore version in general currency and word indicator data sources. They come together with the Tableau application, desktop application. Then we have the ones for Tableau server. This is where you can connect to published data sources. That's data sources that are published on Tableau Cloud, because we have several versions of Tableau. Tableau desktops reside on your desktop. It's a desktop app, and it's handy for people with creator licenses. So creator licenses helps you to build a dashboard. Then we have Explorer licenses just for you to explore the data. So Tableau Desktop, which is the one I'm having a walkthrough with, is handy for people or can be accessed for people with creator licenses. And that's what we're using at the moment. So why I delved into that is because there's some published data sources that are on Tableau Cloud. Tableau Cloud, you use your web browser to access the Tableau Cloud, and is a private spaces for your data. Unlike Tableau Public, which is a third version or third type of Tableau, not version, a type of Tableau application that is accessible to the public, entire public, and is not as secure as Tableau Cloud. But both Tableau Cloud and Tableau Public can be accessed via your web browser. So anything you share on Tableau Public is public to everybody that have accounts on Tableau Cloud. But for Tableau on Tableau Public, so on Tableau Cloud, you are restricted to a particular group of people, and which is usually useful for organizations where they just want their own private spaces. However, they want to have it for shared purposes and for collaboration purposes. So when you think of Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Online, that's the initiative behind us. Collaboration but private, collaboration but public for both of them. So people with Explorer licenses can access Tableau Cloud based on that privilege, the access they've been given in the organization, and Tableau Public as well. So for creator licenses, which is for you to be able to build, when you have access to the back end. Yeah, when software developer say they have access to the back end, you can manipulate a lot of things, and that's why you can only have access. You can access the Tableau Desktop, Explorer, and Cloud, and Public. So Explorer licenses. If you want to connect to a published data sources, you can do that on Tableau Cloud or Public. We'll be seeing the Tableau Public in a while, quite similar to this interface. But as a creator using this desktop app, I may want to connect to a published data source, which is residing on a Tableau Cloud. I will go through this route, and that's a Tableau server, and it's going to navigate to my Tableau Cloud interface. So that's why I delved into that. So let's come back to this intro. So as you can see, this is where you can connect to several data sources. And once you've opened your book, so I will go through my local file, so to a file which is local to my machine. It's residing on my machine. I have control over this data source. No one can see it. It's an Excel file. I'll just connect to that quickly. I will go to sample EU Superstore just for illustration purposes. And so once I connect to a data source, regardless of the type of data source you've connected to, it's going to open this window. So it will open a workbook, which is this. So this is a worksheet view. So think of this as your canvas. So this is where you have, you're an artist. Imagine an artist, you want to start drawing. You have a blank plain sheet, a canvas to start tracing and creating your diagram. So think of this as a canvas. And this is what you see in here. You can see the data pane on the left. Okay. So this is where you have the individual tables within that data source I've connected to. You can see the connection and the list of tables in there. And I will drag. To use this table, I'm going to just pull and drag. So click and drag to the canvas, and it's going to show me my data source. And you can decide to join several tables together. This is where you can build relationships with tables based on your need and what you want to create. So if I just want to use this table or this table, I will just focus on these alone. But if I want to use another data in here, I can establish a relationship. By default, Tableau will do the connection for me, but will ask me in here to select the rows or columns, the columns where I want the relationships to be established in. So I will take this is where I can do my unique joining. It's just like, imagine SQL queries. So once I establish that, by default that's established for me, I can remove the relationship. You can see I've removed it, but I can drag and drop in here. So this is just an intro. We will, as we go on in the course, we learn how to establish a relationship. All right, so let's just continue with the walkthrough. So you can see the sheet 1 is highlighted by default. There's always a sheet 1 in there. So I'll click on it, and that's my worksheet. And again, this is the data pane, which are individual columns within that table or the table where the data source is. So usually the first tab here is always the data source, followed by the sheet where I want to start creating my Canva. So this will be a Canva for my data source, okay, to establish relationship. And this is my Canva for my visualization. This is where the actual plotting takes place. So a Canva here for relationship or table, another canvas for visualization creation. So let's move on. So I've seen the data pane by the side, And this part of it is called, at the top, is called the shelves. This is where you drop things, drop the fields you want to. It's labeled columns and rows. So you're going to drag fields to the rows or column shelves to build charts. So for example, if you want to see sales by region, you can drag region to rows and sales to columns. So you can see I have it just like that. All right, let's move to the max card. So for the max card, here is where where the magic happens. So you use it to change colors, size, labels, or even add tooltips to it. That is your visualization. So it helps you fine tune how your data looks. I can decide to change the color to this one, increase the size more. Label, where I put my text, I can drag a field into the label to give me the order dates for each of them. And I can also put in tooltips. By default, there's always a tooltip based on. So Tableau is intuitive, and there you have it. At the right hand corner here, top right, you see the Show Me Portal. So if you feel you're stuck, you can use the Show Me button to explore chart types. Just select your data, and Tableau will suggest visuals like bar charts, scatter plots, or maps. So we've done the selection already. So all these ones that are highlighted are not grayed out. You can say this one is grayed out, which means it's not possible to use this data, or this data is not sufficient to build this chart. If you hover over this chart, you can see that it says for histogram, you need a measure, just one measure. Okay, so we have both measure and dimension. We'll understand the concepts of measure and dimension as we go on in the course. But yeah, I can build this one with it. You see, all these are not grayed out. So it's just quite intuitive and interesting. My pie chart, my color table, text tables, and so yeah, once I click on it, so those data are sufficient. These ones are not sufficient for that. And there you have it. So to close it, you just click on it again. So the tabs at the bottom here, you can see you can create multiple sheets with it. This is for sheets. This is for a dashboard. You can see names coming up. And we have stories as well, all from here. And at the top as well, you have your save button. You can add new data sources from here. You can pause or to update. So if you don't want this to update, you can just pause it for now as you create it. You don't want interference of new data source, there's a pause it. You can also add clean a new sheet from here. Okay, so this as well, you can duplicate your sheet. That sheet 2 duplicated. You can see this was duplicated. And yeah, more for it. This is grayed out because we do not have charts. You can see it's grayed out. So when we come to where we have our charts or visualization, this is just to swap rows. You can see swapped. If you want to arrange hierarchically, descending order or ascending order. If you want to highlight a section, if you want to group, and so this response will come in handy as we go on. And if I want an entire view, standard view, fit width will just fit this width for me, which is already fit. Height is there, entire view or standard. So yeah, it keeps adjusting the interface. So creating your first chart. So let's try a quick example. Say we have a data set of products by sales. Let's use this blank sheet. So you want to have a visualization that shows product by sales. So you can drag category. Let's look for category in here. Drag it to your rows. So you hold down the mouse and drag. Then drag sales. Go to sales. Sales is listed under measures. You drag it to columns. And boom, we've got a bar chart. And you can see it's not covering the entire space, and this is where this comes in handy. You can see entire view, and there we have it filled up. So once we've built a few charts, for example, we've built this line chart, we've built this bar chart in here. Let me swap this one again. This is the actual one. I can delete this by right clicking and deleting this, and you can also rename. Let's rename and say bar chart. Type whatever name you want and enter. The same way, rename and say line chart. And press enter. So when you come into this space, you don't need to create a sheet. Sheet is for individual visualization. All we need to do is to create a dashboard. And dashboard is a combination of sheets, and you can see our sheets listed. So here, the sheet has a subset of columns and rows, and the dashboard has subsets or collection of sheets. So these are elements for dashboards, and these are elements for a visualization. So that's the way it works. So to create a dashboard, so you can bring them together in a dashboard. Just click the dashboard tab and drag your chart into the canvas. So we have another canvas in here. Then I will just drag in there. I can drag this to the side. If I don't want it inside, I can drag it to the bottom. So once it's highlighted there, you can see that it was showing me where to put it. So yeah, here's our simple dashboard. Yeah, we have it. And you can add filters to it just to make it more interactive. I can put in region, can list names of filters for me. It's here. And I can also add sum of sales. So I can decide to do this. And so as we go on in our visualization or in the course, we learn how to make filters more interactive to everything on the dashboard. But a simple hack here is just to come in here and say, let it affect the, let's go back to the sheet. So we can come in here and say, we want this filter to affect all the sheets. So let's just use all using this data source. And while we do this, you can see, and we can also make a visualization of filter. So once we click on it filters everything. So I mentioned Tableau Public earlier on in the video. So to open Tableau Public, open your web browser and type in Tableau Public, and it's going to display a list of Tableau Public websites for you. So click on the first one, or you can type in this address directly into the address bar in your browser. So here it is where I typed it in, and this is what it looks like. So you see the Tableau Public homepage. These are visualizations developed by different developers, Tableau developers. You can see my recent activity here. I guess you're supposed to create an account. You'll be able to create an account first, because without it, you may not be able to access it. And this is my account here. This is my profile. All right, so I've created an account and I have access to the home page to the Tableau Public. So visualization of the day is usually at the top here, and this is a featured visualization perfectly done by one of the developers, and it's worth viewing and learning from. So when I scroll through, you will see a lot of information on the home page. We have a featured author here. You can decide to follow, check a lot of visualization on Tableau Public. So you're sharing your visualization with the public, and you can also learn from it. You can see new events and stuff as you scroll down in here. Trendy visits at the top right in here, the right pane. You will see a host of other visualizations listed. So you can decide to create So web authoring, you can download Tableau Desktop Public Edition from here as well. You can learn how to videos. Let's see what is it. You can see learn how to. You can decide to play this and learn different visualization. You can see sample data in here and community resources. So it goes on, and we have blogs for it and so on. So it's a very rich website to learn Tableau from. So just the interface. So because I have my account, I'll create on my profile, and I will be able to, you see some of my visualization I've developed in the past while learning it. So yes, and if you have your account, you will see this tab on the right hand side up. You can create visualization. You can see it's quite similar to what we just had a walkthrough from. So I can upload from my computer. I can drag my files. I have to drag my local file, or I can decide to connect using Google Drive. If I have a Google Drive file in Google Drive, I'll hold data. So those are the sources you can use here. And once that is connected, you can see the data pane as well. Because I do not have a data source, this is grayed out. And again, you can drag and publishers. You can see publishers here, which was not in my, it was actually in my to publish a data source in my Tableau desktop. Let's say that again. Let's decide to open this one. You will see where I'll be able to publish here. I can go to my workbook. So there's a list of, you go to server. So you have the file menu at the top. You go to server and gives you this, and you can publish your workbook. That's how you publish it. You do not have that tab in there. So there are a few differences in how desktop present data and Tableau Cloud or public. So you always have this publishers in here because it's a collaborative environment, unlike the desktop. Yeah, so there you have it. And so I wish you a nice time exploring and a great, insightful coursework.